Taking traffic underground is an idea that's captured the interest of South Florida leaders, and it comes from innovation wizard Elon Musk.
And Musk's Boring Company completed a tunnel transport beneath the Las Vegas Convention Center. And this week, a group of leaders from South Florida went out there to check it out, see if it could work here. Broward County Vice Mayor Commissioner Michael Udine was on the trip, joins us now live via Skype from his home in Parkland. Michael, good morning. Great to see you.
Welcome back.
Good morning, guys. Great to be here. Thank you for having me on this morning. What an exciting 2 days I've just had out west, exploring the possibilities for South Florida. It was truly amazing.
Yeah, well, tell us about what you saw.
So we went and saw the tunnel facility that's already done and ready at the Las Vegas Convention Center. That is a tunnel, that's a loop system. So it's a 12-foot diameter tunnel that has Teslas that operate it. It's probably about a 3-mile loop underground, believe it or not, underwater, because it is submerged, and it is a tube that goes through the convention center and about 3 miles. And we went in it, we went to the stations, we saw the whole thing. It was really amazing. And what we're seeing now and what they're seeing is that the private sector, the casinos, have come in and said, as you're able to bring this in at such a low cost, they want to spur onto it. So they're working with the casinos on the Strip to send a spur towards them so that the casinos can be in part of this. And it was fascinating, and it was extremely high tech and extremely well done.
I can see, we just saw your picture, I guess, that you had put on Twitter. It looks like, action figures in a big red tube. I can see how everyone could be very excited about this, but let's talk some numbers, please, if we can, because I looked up that Vegas Convention Center tube, $52.5 million a mile. However, Vegas is not South Florida, sitting on our own water supply and limestone, etc. The Port Miami Tunnel cost $1 billion to do. That was not even a mile. So is this really a feasible way to expand transportation in South Florida?
So some of the preliminary numbers that came in on doing a tunnel under the New River in Fort Lauderdale was around the $3 billion number. Obviously, that's a number that's going to be too high for everybody to handle. When, I was tweeting with Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, who's been a real tech leader on this. We were tweeting with Elon Musk about doing tunnels in South Florida. And I said, this is a spot where there's actually a need for a tunnel. There is a need to do something over the New River. Conventional wisdom would have it be a bridge. But if you want to start putting tunnels somewhere, that's a spot where they can do it. Now, at $3 billion, I don't think there's an appetite for it. They built the tunnels in Vegas at $10 million a mile. So they built it at 1/100th of a cost of what they would need to do down here. Now, I'm under no illusions after being out there. I don't think they can do under the New River exactly what they did in Vegas. I think it would be much more expensive than $10 million a mile. But let's say that it came in at $100 million a mile, just for argument's sake. You're still talking about less than the cost of putting a bridge over that New River. And what that does is, the reason we need to get over that New River is to have commuter rail going up and down the east coast of the 3 counties, Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade. There were engineers from Brightline that were there with us. They were excited. They were flying back to look at whether this is something that can be done. Now, if it can't, there are still definitely other opportunities. We went the second day on our way home to the Hawthorne Test Tunnel. That's the picture you saw on Twitter this morning. That's done under the SpaceX facility in California. It is a mile-long tunnel. You travel at 125 miles an hour. I went in it with Mayor Trantalis and a couple of the other leaders. It was built in an urban area with no obtrusion to the neighbors. It was amazing to see, and it's done, and it was done very quickly.
Well, it's all kind of a gee whiz moment here for us. Thinking about this happening. Explain to me, if you will, Commissioner.
It was a moment to me as well. It was amazing. The possibilities were amazing.
Yeah. Well, Lord knows traffic is absolutely horrendous in South Florida. It affects our economy, affects our lives every day. And if there is a solution, we want to find a solution. I mean, so I'm glad that you and the other leaders went out and are looking at this for the possibility of maybe finding application. But I don't frankly understand, if you're talking about a bridge over the New River, is it a train bridge? Is it, for Brightline? Is it, how would it work?
Right. It would be a train bridge for the Brightline and for something to go commuter rail up that corridor. But in order to make commuter rail work there, you need to go by that river. Instead of it being 3 or 4 times a day now, it needs to be 30 or 40 times a day, which is very obtrusive to the marine industry and to raising, to shutting off a big part of Fort Lauderdale's economy. Can this be done? It's certainly possible. You can certainly do tunnels in South Florida. Like you said, we have one in Miami. We have one in Fort Lauderdale. We have the Henry Kinney Tunnel, which is a small tunnel. The question is whether the new technology that they have is going to be able to do this at a cost-feasible way that can be done in other spots in South Florida. The city manager of Fort Lauderdale was there. I can tell you, there was extreme excitement in his eyes. He was coming home to talk to his public works people to see where this could be put in application, because you could have a 2-mile people mover type loop that can fit into a lot of places at not such a high cost. And what's going on now in South Florida is we're starting to become another tech hub. We have companies that want to be here. When Amazon had its HQ3 headquarters search, one of the things that they talked about was transportation and moving things around. Now, we made the short list, so there could be some opportunities ahead. It's good for the economy, it adds jobs to the community, and it moves people around quicker. Tesla.
We have probably like 40 seconds left, but I just want to hear the financing for this. So far, Elon Musk's financing has been private. Are you thinking private investment, or are you thinking public money for this?
Well, there's going to have to be, in some spots, there could be, if you did it in certain spots where there was a private facility that wanted to be part of this, if they can bring it in at a cheap enough price, that can work. But listen, there's always was a talk of using public money to cross the New River somehow. There was a 25% local match, I think a 25% state match, and a 50% federal match.
Michael Udine, I beg your pardon. We're going to have to leave it there. We're out of time. So glad that you could join us, and very exciting stuff.
We'll be watching. Keep in touch.